Now, the shadow is the same gender as the ego. We're going to move now to the contrasexual in the man, what Jung calls the ánima, the Latin word for soul. This is the part of him that will become the divine inner energy. It can move in several directions. As we look at this ánima, she can move. Let me use this. As we look at this ánima, and you see how this pendulum swings, you can see that there is a ratio on both sides. That it does move the same on the one side as on the other. Think of a complex that way. Think of a person who is projecting a goddess, a divine goddess, onto someone, and the energy becomes shifting because she is not a divine goddess, she is human. But that is a terrible disappointment to the person. So the other side comes up, and she may appear as an enchantress, someone who will not let him go, or even an animal, often a sick animal, who will not let him go, or something that will keep him asleep. The relationship to the mother will determine the relationship to this contrasexual. And one has to always be aware that the more intense on the positive side, the equally intense negative energy. Jung realized that the young feminine would be, as it were, a shadow side of that mother energy. When she begins to appear in dreams, often it's a little girl or a young girl or a little dark girl, and she comes out, and of course the energy may be projected. That's the tendency. What's coming out of the unconscious is projected onto someone. But that's fine, because then we begin to see who that is in us, what we are projecting. Now, she may say to you, if you're a man, that's not who I am at all. But from your point of view, yes, indeed, that is who she is, because that is your projection. We don't project intentionally. It's like an arrow that just comes out, flies directly to the bullseye, and then the two people involved have to deal with that. When the energy becomes that one can really see what's going on, and you begin to pull it back, it becomes an inner muse. For example, a woman may dream that her husband is going off every night and she's afraid he's having an affair. She can even maybe see the woman in her dreams. Very often he is going to his music studio or someplace where he can write, where he can actually work with his own inner bride. This is very confusing in a relationship. In fact, some of you may say, well, what's the point of all of this? Why bother making a relationship with this inner feminine if it's going to upset the outer marriage? It won't upset it if you stay with it. If you are projecting goddess onto someone, that divinity is your hope and your goal. But it's totally an illusion. No human being is a goddess. And the dark, dark side will come out of that projection and turn against the person who is projecting. So to bring that energy in, recognize it as internal, is to bring out your own creativity. You write with that energy, you go into life with that energy, you create music, art, whatever whatever it is that brings you into your full maturity. More than that, in the marriage, the expectation is taken off. You no longer expect her to be who you want her to be, the goddess that you think she is. You begin to see her as she in fact is. And there's great beauty in human love. The anima really is the archetype of life. She is the principle of feeling and love in the relationship, by which I mean a presence that can look at the man and love him for who he is, for what he values. It's not what she is projecting onto him, but she loves what is coming forth in him and can put a love around that relationship that brings out the very strength of all his creative masculinity.